Okay, so here we are. Now listen. This no quarter, it's my favorite version of the whole. It's actually my favorite live Zepp jam. Actually, I think the best. It's not necessarily representative of the classic stereotypical Zeppelin, but it really shows their true musicianship. Again, not necessarily technical musicianship, but them playing. You know, it's essentially a motif I'm sure they played over and over again. But this particular version, again, taken from the 12 or 13 minute, taken from the Song Remains the Same double album, okay? I think No Quarter started off the third side. It's terrific, okay? Now, again, it's taken from two different nights. And so they take one chunk from one night, one chunk from another night, one chunk from that night again, and one chunk from that night, okay? But what's cobbled together is just, I think, just a brilliant sort of final product, okay? Bonham's playing is terrific. John Paul Jones playing is great on the organ and the bass pedals, although there are a couple times he does hit a sharp. He does kind of a couple times if you listen really closely. He's a little off on the pedals here and there. But Moxie! But he's on fire. They're all on fire, okay? Just the way it works, especially Page and Bonham. A quick insertion. Jimmy Page's guitar solo in the song is like it's like a horn solo. It's like a sax solo. All that stuff. It's like a horn solo. It's terrific. Okay, so then we came in the last video. We went into what would be the beginning of the guitar solo, but Page waits another 4 bars. Again, Bonham does that pattern, and then on the floor tom, he does that a few times in the song, and he does it a couple times on the toms too, the same general pattern. Like when he's coming in, well, I'll try to describe the parts later. But again, what gets to be kind of hard with analyzing Bonham's playing sometimes on The Song Remains the Same soundtrack or in the movie is that his Vista lights have a homogenized, especially his 2 floor toms with the bass drum. Sometimes it's really hard to tell kind of what he's doing. Okay, so or okay. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so then there's 4 bars where you'd think the guitar would be like okay, but what Bonham does there is that's the basic motif there. One and two and three and four and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now sometimes in other versions he'll busy that up a little. Like, he will busy it up a little bit. So that's generally the pattern he plays there before the solo starts for 4 bars, and then after the solo starts. And then he does a couple little accents with the guitar. I can't remember off the top of my head. Just a couple little teeny things. Remember, I'm not charging for this video. If I was going to do an in-depth analysis, it would probably take me like a week and a half to do, 6 hours a day, honestly. Because part of the thing is, this is what Bonham played. It wasn't mapped out like Neil Peart does it, okay? It was off the top of his head. He probably couldn't even reproduce it unless he spent exactly note for note, because it's flowing out of a true musician, okay? So, after the 16th, and what happens is Bonham sometimes will have, he slips into the, that boogie. He does that toward the end. He does that, but then he goes back into Max. It's okay, Max. It's all right. Have a cream soda. So then he goes in back into the. That's where Bonham's going, you know, and I've been working on my left hand. I've been trying to play my left hand in a French style grip. So my ghost notes are a little funky now because they're sort of, I used to do them with my left hand in German. But now that I'm switching to the French, they're a little lost because I can't really get my left hand. You can see sort of the shakes in my left, but we'll work that out. All right. So, and then you go into the fill where it's like, except on the toms. Then he goes into that, which precedes the, I might be leaving out a couple bars here, but just bear with me. He goes into the, which is cool. Now that, right, so he, the pattern on the drums he does before that. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and bring up no chord, you'll hear it, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Which leads into the okay? So what happens is in the sticking of it, well, let me do that where it counts in. The thing is, you know, I actually have the snare, kind of, this is, again, the snare, the tortured snare that had the 10-6 ratio thingy, blah, blah, blah. But if you listen to Bonham's snare there, you can really hear the 6.5 unmuted, okay? He doesn't have the tone control on. Again, I always insist he touches, maybe not live so much, but touches the tone control. Just to the bottom, okay, especially when recording. Okay, and I do think, too, it's possible. He might, maybe he doesn't have the ching ring on this one. I know he puts the ching ring on for Stairway to Heaven and then leaves it on for Moby Dick, which follows immediately. I think even in the setup, not just the recording, but I think it actually did work that way. So, all right, so... happens is that first crash. Remember, sorry, there's 4 crashes. And the first one's just done. So he kind of goes. So imagine looping this. Okay, that's the last 2 are that. So. But the interesting thing about these crashes, now I have to leave it off after these crashes because this video will be way too long. Plus 2, there's a little in that little. Okay. Moxie! It's okay. Oh! Woo! Hello! I can't get out! Okay. So what happens is those crashes, the first crash occurs on the of 4 before the downbeat. It's instinctual for me, probably for all of us, is to hit that first crash of the 4 on the 1. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. So 1 and, just imagine it that way. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, I'm not going to go into counting that, which would be the wrong way, because I have it worked out in my head the right way, which is kind of a pain in the ass for me. So just bear with me, okay? So what we're going to do is, in the right way, the way that Bonham actually performs it, it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and. That first crash is on the of 4 preceding, okay? See this? I'm going to try and hold this as steady as possible. It's on the not on the 1. So it's a dotted 8th, the way the accent goes, okay? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and. Sorry. A 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Well, those are the 4 crashes. 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Okay? Let's concentrate on that now. So I'll try to play it softer. Okay? And again, we're just going to do it up to here because I also have to shore up on that little frickin' hi-hat thing he does in the. Okay? So. Okay, on the 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. So it was like a fun thing. It'd be like 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E. That's not right. That wasn't a dotted. That was a regular. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. A 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Okay? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. That's what he does. It takes a little getting used to. It's not instinctual for me to do it. So then after he does that last crash, he goes and 4 and 1. And 4 and 1. And 4 and 1. And then the and 1 are crashed. And 4 and 1. So when you really listen to that, what's so cool about it, it almost sounds like there's an extra note, but everybody comes in at the same time. So, right? It's because the illusion, upon first thinking about it, that first crash is on the 1. So it sort of seems like they'd be adding a beat, but it's not. It's on the of 4 before the 1. So I'll try to do it. Bear with me. It's really hard for me to talk and play at the same time. I'm not Steve Smith or any of these very talented people that can do this, or anybody else, all these other wizards on eBay. Not eBay, I meant YouTube. I don't know where everybody gets their technique from. God bless them, okay? So 1 and... Here we go. Now it's hard for me to... and 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E. Okay? So that's what you need to do. Just look at this. Okay? Again, it's hard for me to sing, to talk, and play it because I'm probably going to mess it up without even realizing it because to me it's a very much a bottom mind screw. So 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4 and what? So that's where we're going to leave it off. Let me just try to loop it for a little while. To me, I have to think about it musically and play it in the context. Otherwise, it's hard for me, okay? It's like it's trying to tell like a story from like halfway through, and it's like, okay. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and... God, you know, this is, honest to God, I really first heard this. I heard this before the studio version. And because my brother had the song remains... Hi there. You see my pores? My brother had the Song Remains the Same double album, listened to it a bunch. Then I was like, oh, there's Houses of the Holy. Checked it out, loved the crunge, loved all the tunes on there, Jamaica. But no quarter rolled around. I was kind of like... You have to hear in the live version first. It's sort of, I had to sort of get used to the studio version. So, thanks for watching my videos. This is No Quarter Part 2. The next one will be the last one. I just really want to get the so it's a little bit of that in there. There's a little sort of flourish on the head. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to reproduce it, but you know what I'm saying. It's like he does that one, which I can do if I'm not thinking about. But it's the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's like a little... That's very delicate and pretty, okay? So I want to devote some time to that so it sounds good, okay? So thanks for watching. More videos on the way. I got to make sure Moxie's not aflame. Okay, I'm not sure what the hell's going on up there. Thanks for watching. More videos coming shortly.